Is that... Isabella? Who carves that into a stairwell?
Did you ever run the wilds, boy? Kirkwall is no city for a breed used to open spaces. Nice as your estate is, it's not healthy for a Mabari to be cooped up. May I take him to the barracks time to time? He could help train my guards.
Good idea. He'll put the fear of dog into them.
Good. I think it's time they face down a good old Mabari charge. How about it, boy? Want to chew on some recruits?
If you need any enchantments, I'm sure my boy would be happy to help.
Enchantment!
Just so.
I can make it for you. Boom!
Ah, there he goes again. How he makes these things, I'll never know.
I've never seen another dwarf like him. Does this run in your family?
Not at all, but Sandal isn't really my son. I found him in the deep roads when I left Orzammar for good. Raised him as my own now. Isn't that right, my boy?
I like Bodan.
He's always been this way. Always collecting things and enchanting them. Strange, I suppose.
Perhaps he'll be the first dwarven mage. Wouldn't that be interesting?
I don't know. The actual mages don't do enchanting, do they? Just the ones who had their magic taken away.
Tranquil.
Yes, them. Ugh.
That big tower in the lake is scary.
He means the gallows, and I quite agree.
That big tower in the lake is scary.
He means the gallows, and I quite agree.
Didn't Fenris say all Tevinter wine is made from the blood and tears of slaves? I hope he was exaggerating. Fenris hates that statue. Says it reminds him of the old god relics they had in Tevinter. Another copy of Anders' manifesto. Has he been stuffing them into all the books? That's Mother's room. I shouldn't intrude. Handprints? Or someone swinging on the chandelier? Sandal. Nice view. I see the Arenbergs have made up. Alright, so she said to look at the crest sideways, then cover the... Sweet maker, Isabella. I can't unsee that. I think I'll let Sandal empty that. Poor Prince. I told him to stay off the bed. Crude drawings in the margins. Isabella, grow up. Everything that's left of my life in Lothering.
for you. It's on the desk. That's where I'll put messages which come what.
This ale isn't as good as it used to be.
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
I could go into business for myself. You must have pointers on that, don't you, Varric?
A business is like a puppy. Take your eyes off it, and soon there's shit all over your floor. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
What would I do without my trusty dwarf? I'd cry myself to sleep without you.
Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me, Hawk. You know I can't stand to see a human cry. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
Don't ingest the merchandise. It's not recommended.
You should have lived in Tevinter. You'd be happier there.
You're probably right.
There, your magic would be a mark of honor. Apprentice to the right magister, you would do well.
Is there a downside?
Only if you're bothered by owning a few slaves and performing the occasional blood ritual.
So they all do those things?
Just the ones who don't complain about how powerless and persecuted they are.
Maybe. Yes? Face it, you don't pay me. Over at work. It's like you haven't moved in 3 years.
It's easier for people to find me this way. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes. That turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
Do I get a kiss from the feisty temptress when I present her with the hard-won prize?
If you want. I'll even let you choose where I plant it.
Why do you always win at cards?
Because I cheat, kitten. This trinket, it's elven, isn't it? From your clan. Don't bet anything you're not prepared to lose. Here, have it back. A jigger of your finest whiskey for my friend over here. The Hanged Man's finest isn't much, but it'll get you just as drunk as anything you'll find in Hightown.
And you'll wake up and find someone stolen your trousers.
That's when you know it's a party. I thought I'd have to watch myself around you, but as it turns out, you're all right.
What do you mean I'm all right?
You don't judge people. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You know, little things like that. If I had someone like you on board my ship when the storm hit, maybe we wouldn't have been shipwrecked.
Maybe you would have been shipwrecked sooner. I'm a terrible sailor.
Are you? I suppose I'll have to keel haul you till you shape up. So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Daenerys. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
Don't tell me you're going to miss all the attention.
Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You take a breath and look around. And start anew.
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
I might be able to help with your problems. Or give you a few more.
Only a few.
It depends if I really work at it.
Tempting. You're a beautiful woman, Hawke. Is there no one else who has your attention?
I didn't quite catch that first part.
I don't need to repeat the obvious, I'm certain. I'm an escaped slave and an elf living in a borrowed mansion. None of those things bother you.
And I'm a refugee as well as a human. Does that bother you?
You have me there. You raise an interesting point. I'll have to consider it. Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Firmundis. Care to hear the story?
I enjoy listening to you talk.
There are few pleasures greater than speaking with a beautiful woman. Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Daenerys during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
I thought Daenerys considered you valuable.
He wasn't given a choice. The look on his face as the ship pulled out was priceless. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
Were you with these Fog Warriors willingly?
I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Why would you do such a thing?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
This can't be easy to talk about.
I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
Perhaps you're right.
To you, Hawk. May I fight at your side for years to come.
Maybe I should find a nicer place.
This is some of the most expensive.
Don't come running to me next time you pick up one of these diseases.
Isn't that the point of magic?
I don't want to know.
Things just keep getting worse. I had Templars practically on my doorstep the other night.
Don't tell me these things. I might have to lock you up to keep them off you.
Sweetheart, I'm not letting anyone lock me up. You included. The Knight Commander is out of control. Even her own people have been talking about it. The curfews, the midnight raids on mages' families. Everyone I know forced into hiding so they won't be made tranquil.
Is that making it harder for you? With justice?
In the Fade, there is no time. Emotion rules everything. Justice doesn't know how to sit idle until the right moment to strike. And I can't say I have any greater patience. I fear what my anger has made of my friend.
You chose to merge with him. Only you can make it work.
I am trying. I have not attacked the Templars openly. I've helped the mages here as best I can, but this impasse cannot last. Just being with me puts you at risk. The Knight Commander has declared supporting apostates a hanging offense. The thought of them hurting you, everything I've done to control this. I don't care. I would drown us in blood to keep you safe.
I don't want to see you lose yourself. To the Templars or Justice.
How much is left if you strip both those out? I'm sorry. I can't be anyone but who I am. There will be more violence. I know that. If you tie yourself to me, I'll only hurt you.
You're getting in too deep here. And I can't follow.
It's better this way.
I imagine Orzammar is like this, only with beards and an overwhelming sense of superiority.
Good day, Sir Arthur.
We'll need to give them answers by tomorrow, Captain.
I'll have them. Dismissed.
The Seneschal was particularly vocal.
Dismissed. You'd think the Captain of the Guard could requisition a Templar or two, but no, that would be demeaning. Can't have them working for the people when eternity needs a nanny.
You had to know cleaning up this mess would be difficult.
It's not the challenge, it's the unending part. And really, I blame you. You poured money into a pot that was already full. Everything has shifted. Good job validating the fears of every anti-Ferelden and Kirkwall.
Grouse all you want, but the Aveline I know doesn't regret a second as captain.
They'd have to drag me out of here. And I'm sure some are lining up to try. You among them, I bet. Haven't had much time to follow you around. Not that I need to. I can trust that you at least try to do right. I'm with you if you need me, Hawke. Just say the word.
Have you heard from your sister? Is she settling in all right with the Circle?
Our mother checks on her frequently. She seems to be adjusting.
Maybe it's nice for her to finally live without hiding. She's strong. If anyone can get through this, she can. Don't blame yourself.
If I'd gotten home sooner, she might still be free.
Once the Templars knew, nothing you could have done would have saved her. Things will be all right. Somehow.
So, this is where you live. Not bad. I preferred the old place. It had, more charm.
You're talking about the shack I shared with my mother, uncle, and sister?
I meant Lowtown. Dirty, chaotic, glorious Lowtown. The smell of tar, and the sea, and the sound of some whore plying her trade in a back alley. Oh. Don't you miss that?
Just a little bit. Hightown can be a little dull.
That's what I say. Tell you what, why don't we just have some girly fun? Just you and me.
I don't know what you mean.
Us. Together. Telling secrets, exploring each other's hidden depths.
That's not a good idea.
Suit yourself. I'll just get my giggles elsewhere. No hard feelings.